Very good morning to you once again if you're just joining us. Well, let's give you an update on the markets. The local bourse will be contending with mixed global markets this morning, but the rand was trading at its best level to the dollar in about 26 months, boosted overnight by comments from a U.S. Federal Reserve official. For a sense now of what elements are driving market sentiment in early trade, we're joined by Executive Director at Citadel Global, Bianca Botes. Bianca, very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. The rand jumping by 1.73% against the dollar in overnight trade. Take us through the significance of this range and what's driving it.
Good morning to you and your viewers. It's quite a significant move seen in the overnight from the rand. We've actually been trying to breach that 13.70 rand mark for quite some time now. And yesterday evening, after the Fed speeches last night, we actually saw the rand breach that level and actually rally quite significantly, trying to test the 13.50 rand mark in the session as well. There's been quite a lot of talk about what's been driving the rand and why we are at these levels. And it all comes down to the US, inflation, monetary stimulus, as well as the economic growth in that area. So nothing we are doing on the ground currently really contributing to the growth. And we will continue to keep an eye on the US, especially labor data coming out today and tomorrow, to give us an idea of where the rand could potentially go in the coming months.
Yeah, let's talk oil. The prices there hitting a two-year high with Brent crude rising above the $71 per barrel mark on Wednesday. That's the highest level since May 2019. Again, the factors driving those highs and what this means for the local fuel prices.
As we came out of the pandemic, all eyes were on supply and demand of oil. With economies in lockdown, there was quite a bit of oversupply, and that oversupply has now been eradicated with economies coming back online and the demand for oil increasing. We expect the demand for oil to increase in the coming months, and especially for the oil price to potentially gain even further into the third and fourth quarter, trading to around $75 to even $80 per barrel as we head towards the end of the year.
All right. Finally, talk to us about the S&P Global Ratings that is hosting a virtual conference today to discuss what? The outlook for South Africa. One session looking at the factors shaping South Africa's economic and ratings outlook. So what are some of the themes likely to come out of that engagement, Bianca?
So we actually saw S&P and Fitch maintain South Africa's current credit rating and also keeping the outlook for the country at stable. However, some of the key concerns that will be addressed will include the structural issues we are facing. When we start looking at unemployment, South Africa is at all-time high unemployment since the survey started. And we also face some additional issues such as electricity supply problems that could further impede on economic growth. We will also expect to hear from them in terms of the public spending. And while government has made strides in reducing public spending, it is crucial for them to continue cutting down on the public wage bill. And with a very unionized public and private sector, that becomes a lot more difficult in South Africa to actually make sure that we have a dynamic and sustainable employment base. So those three areas for me will definitely be the most important talking points.
All right, Bianca Botes, thank you very much for that markets update. She is Executive Director at Citadel Global, giving us a sense of how the markets are shaping up this morning. Well, let's pick up on this story. Eskom CEO